Yeah, this is just a chat with myself. Yeah, I like to talk about the insight I just got from the quarters where ICT was talking about. He had some students that would trade just either the spring or the fall, and I was thinking about how they do that. And I came across the quarters understanding, which I've had it for a while, but I think it's more meaningful to me now in trusting that I can do this long term and there are ways for me to position myself. Like, let's say I can anticipate price turning at this level here and I want you to trade to some level at this place. My bias can be longs all through the Q2, the Q3, when I saw that price would likely reverse from these levels and target these levels, my bias could be bearish. And how, even if I take a loss, there are models that are present in price action that repeat all the time that I can use to engage price action, like the open range gap model, the silver bullet model. There are ways I could position myself. Let's say I'm expecting price to trade lower this quarter or into next quarter. Could see a potential new day open gap below price and new an open range gap below price that might that might be a model that I might use to engage prices lower for that session or hold for lower prices long term. And it also gives me, it increases my confidence in trusting setups or trusting the ability that I can make this work. I can duplicate my income a week. That's about $1,000 a week off the charts because of the opportunities that are present from understanding, building trust by doing the right things over time and knowing, being in control of yourself. So let's say I'm expecting lower prices and we engage this low here and there are signs of taking price higher to these levels. That does not mitigate the idea of lower prices, but with this general information and idea, you can be a participant against the trend and still keep the higher idea in mind. So that just goes to show how many opportunities that are present in price action. Yeah, so let's say the season Q4 might be a consolidation season. Using that idea, you can still carve out something for yourself. There's some notes I'd like to read off. But you'd have to wrestle through. I think there's a deep rooted belief that you cannot make this work. I think it's because you've not seen anybody do it, or people think this is fictional, and you cannot make a living of this, but and you've been conditioned to think that way. But I think I can see for myself firsthand that that is a lie, and most of the eye-opening events come from doing it the right way, which is gaining experience, seeing it repeat over time for me to build enough confidence to this stage. I think I'll build more confidence over time by continuing to do it the right way, to engage the right way. Yeah, so give myself a couple of challenges. Like for now, I'm trading with almost a 100 point stop for 200 points take profit. So I'll give myself some challenges like 35 points, 40 points, 100 points a week. A week. Thinking of it as a business and not just a an event or an activity that you have to constantly engage in or bombard yourself with. If you can carve out just one setup like the one you took this week, be certain, not be impulsive or impatient, that is wanting to rush or thinking you've seen something in the charts that will drive you to rushing, or it might be wanting to prove to yourself that you know what you're doing, or you want to. That's a side effect of not believing, because you self sabotage, thinking you need to do more than what is necessary. Uh, I think a proper way to approach this thing would be to draw out your expectations. Let's say you have your new week open gap here, and you're seeing higher prices, like the example of today, and you're seeing higher prices, but you're at discount levels, and ideally, what I would have liked to do would have been to wait. wait for the setup, you wait for the setup, you anticipate the setup forming. Or let's say you are discount prices and sorry, the premium price, and you want to see lower, prices, swing you'd wait for the opportunity. You see the higher prices, you wait for the opportunity, you wait for the impulse, that is the fake move against the actual move, and you're aware, say you're trading to a inefficient price level, just like this gap here during the time of the day. You wait for your model, you're waiting for your model, you're waiting for a model, and then you take the model and you're out, you're confident. I think, yes, the word I'll use is confident. With this knowledge, you're confident that you would see a model, one model in a week, with an idea of what the price action is doing, with the seasonals, with the range. You're confident that you'd see a model. Let's scratch Monday out and let me give an example. Let's say I'm expecting lower prices here and I want to see lower prices, and let's say this place we're at in price action. I would have passed on it because the model was, I did not properly plan for, anticipate the model, because some things I would have lowered the probabilities of. This one was the range we're at in price action first, and the market time, that is the conditions, were at the 24th, which is generally a consolidation time. So let's say we were at the discount level of price action, sorry, the premium price level of price action, and we're anticipating lower prices, and we saw the new day open gap below price, we saw the model, we saw overextended price action, and we're just there waiting for it. And when it comes, we're not questioning it, no doubt about it. We took the position and we made a profit out of that position. For just that one in a week, that would have been more than enough, or more than what you need to be successful in this endeavor. Yeah, but this was a nice exercise as well too, because it showed that I can kill the position and reverse, that is, realize I did something wrong, did not spend too much emotion thinking about what I did wrong. But yeah, in past times I would have been too concerned about it, or too concerned about taking the next position, or about it being a loss. Or I think it was still within the threshold of two trades. So I'm curious as to how I would have reacted if this one was a loss as well. But I would like to say that sticking with two trades a session is ideal, very ideal. With all this information, I could take a loss and still come back and recoup the loss within the week. So yeah, with all these higher time frames in mind, some of the process I should really go through should be anticipating troublesome times like this time of the month, the quarter. So I'll be using this daily time frame a lot to frame my trades so that I can see the bigger picture of what price is going to do, and I need to put all these things into consideration, like this open of the day higher at this time. I want to be able to spot that and not be late in spotting it, but that will come over time. I'm aware.